Have you ever met anybody famous? I'm talking about really famous. I'm talking about someone who's a household name, someone who you would see in the mall and not think, oh, wow, they're in the mall, but you'd go, oh, wow, they go to a mall? Not someone famous that you see in an airplane and go, wow, that guy's famous, but someone you see in an airplane and think, really? I thought they'd have like 10 private jets. A few years ago, I was actually at an airport, and I walked into this room called the Crown Room. It's a place where people that fly way too much for a living get to go to get a free Diet Coke in between flights. And as soon as I walked in, I saw Michael Jordan sitting there in the Crown Room in between flights. Everybody was standing around him just staring at him. And I was looking, and I thought, wow, I don't want to just say I got to see him. I want to get to say I met Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball player ever. So I walk over, and I put my hand on his shoulder, and Michael Jordan looks up, and I say, Mr. Jordan, you don't know me. Now, there's the ultimate duh, right? And I said, but sir, I know you. I go, man, I just want to shake your hand, because I think you're the greatest athlete that's ever lived. He just kind of smiled, but I knew athletes like that, they love to hear stuff like that. I said, man, Wayne Gretzky, he's got nothing on you. I said, Muhammad Ali, he's got nothing on you. I said, man, I grew up watching you take your tongue out, take a basketball, and make other grown men look like tiny little children as you crammed it down their throats. I said, you're the greatest athlete that's ever lived, Michael Jordan. I said, can I shake your hand? And he shook my hand, and as soon as he shook my hand, said, thank you. And then he quietly kind of went back into his magazine, reading it as if to say, now go away. And I walked away thinking, wow, I got to meet Michael Jordan. But what if it was more than that? What if Michael Jordan looked at me and said, you know what? You know all about me, but I don't know about you. What if Michael Jordan asked me to sit down? What if Michael Jordan and I had a 30-minute conversation, and at the end of it, he gave me his phone number? What if Michael Jordan said, the next time you're in Chicago, man, come by the house, call me? What if I had that kind of relationship with Michael Jordan? Can I tell you this? If Michael Jordan and I had that kind of relationship, if I had access to him in that degree, I'd feel pretty important. Now listen, when God gives you and I access through His Son, when God gives you and I access to Him through the Bible, when God reveals to us and speaks to us through prayer, there's so much value there, because we're talking about more than just a has-been basketball player who's now got bad knees. We're talking about the famous one of all. We're not talking about a movie star or an athlete who's a big deal. We're talking about the God of this universe saying to you and I, when we come to Him in prayer, for example, and we talk to Him, hey, I want you to stay in this conversation with me longer. If that doesn't give us value, nothing ever will. For every person who's watching this and doesn't get any attention from your boss, doesn't get invited to go play golf while everybody else at work does, or doesn't get any attention at school, or is always left out in that little conversation with all the ladies in the neighborhood, there might not be any value there, but just know this, that the God of this universe loves you and wants to spend time with you. If that doesn't give you wholeness, nothing ever will. If that doesn't give you peace, nothing ever will. That God, the ultimate celebrity, the famous one, wants to spend time with you and with me. And so today, take some time in prayer. Know that God's not in a rush. Know that as long as you want to talk to Him, He's got time for you. Take some time to open up the Bible and say, God, speak to me. Reveal yourself to me. And know that God's not in a hurry.